One of the biggest things that changed my finances is realizing that every single rand that I earn needs a purpose. Money without a purpose, without a plan, will disappear. Money with a purpose will create freedom. When I get paid, when it's payday, I don't think to myself, what do I feel like spending my money on this month? I actually ask myself, what job does my money need to do in my life currently? If you are new to my channel, welcome. My name is Norma, and if you are returning, thank you so much for coming back. My name is Norma. I'm a wife, I'm a mom, and I'm a personal financial coach. And a few years ago, I was so overwhelmed with how to manage my money, with how to manage debt, with how to build savings, and how to stop living month to month without a plan for living a life of freedom. And all I wanted to do was just to learn how to be more wiser with my money and be a good steward when it comes to managing my finances. And now I share my numbers, I share my real numbers, my wins, my mistakes. I'm taking you along the journey of achieving financial freedom. I believe financial freedom starts with actually knowing your numbers. So I'm going to share how I actually do my budget today. I use a zero-based budget, and I like focusing on 7 main categories, which I'm going to dive into shortly. So I'm going to bring you to my table and let's get into my budget. Okay, so I'm going to dive into my budget, and these are basically the tools that I use in my monthly financial tracking system. And I have my saving challenges, which is the 20k saving challenge. I also have the 100 envelope saving challenge, and when I complete this one, I'll save 50,000 Rand. When I complete this one, I will save 20,000 Rand. So in total, it would be like 70. But this one is my main focus, and then I'll go aggressive on this one. But I am still putting some money on this one as well, but I'll show you as well. I'm just going to put them aside over here. And then this is my budget planner. So these budget planners are a Nomazdiary flagship product. This is the first thing I launched ever in my journey of becoming an entrepreneur. And this is the 5th edition of the Nomazdiary. And it is sold out. So we have officially sold out of the Budget for Freedom Planners 2026 version. So if you want one, you're gonna have to wait for next year if I'm gonna launch another version. But for now, let's dive into the numbers. So I'm gonna go all the way to June because I'm gonna actually set it up with you. So the first thing obviously we look at is the calendar and how the calendar looks. So what I always say is make sure that your calendar is catered to your payday. So if you get paid on the 15th, then your calendar starts on the 15th. If you get paid on the 1st, then your calendar starts on the 1st. If you get paid on the 25th, then it starts on the 25th. This is not your calendar to just see the date. This is your budget calendar, your monthly spending tracker. So I'm just going to set it up quickly. Okay, so the month of June started on a Monday, so it was the 1st. For me, I track from the 1st. So 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. So this is my calendar. So I already know what I spent and what I didn't spend. So on Monday, the 1st is the payday. So I'm just going to put payday here in green. And then my other payday was on the 8th over here. And my other payday was on the 15th. So I get paid on Mondays. Okay, and then things I had to pay for. So I love the spirals because of this. I can just lay everything flat and then it's just easy for me to write on it. So on the 1st, I usually take care of giving and also had to put money into our collective, which is the Stockville, and also Skylar has her small investments that I have started for her, and we also bought food. And on the 2nd, had to pay for swimming, and then I also had to buy a Bafana t-shirt for Skylar. Gosh, Skylar is like spending so much money. Also career guy, and also I had to get a new car disc for the car. Wednesday was a no spend day. Thursday was a no spend day. Friday, again, Skylar, which was 460 for that one. And then we went to our friend's engagement party. So I'm just going to put engagement. And we bought our own like drinks, or I don't drink, but my husband does. And we spent around 650 on that, which was hectic. And then I want to put no spend. Where are my stickers? I'm just gonna use these ones over here. So this was a no spend day. And then another no spend day was this Wednesday here. And then the following week we had 2 other no spend days. Last week was actually quite a good week when it comes to spending. I didn't spend that much, and just because it's been really hectic, like financially. Everyone I feel like is going through it. Then we bought more food, and we ended up buying KFC because, my mom actually. And we also paid for rent, and again, Skylar, which was $265. This was actually for an excursion. On KFC we spent $320, and on food we spent 800 rand. And then on the 10th over here, we also paid for laundry, which was $420. It's quite a lot of laundry that we did. I had to buy new vitamins, which was 300 rand. And we put petrol, which was 400. And the following day, Thursday, was another no spend. And then on Friday, I had to pay for school and for Tala. And then on Saturday, we bought some more food, and that was 700 rand. Okay, and then this week, the week that we're in, chances are you're watching this video, it's like the 20th, had another payday and also had to pay for gym, just 700. And then petrol, we put more petrol here because we had to go away for just a day. Not 700, we put in 400. And we also, on that day we went away, we also bought for 100 rand, and we also ate out, like we had like a lunch, which was not too much. It was like 320. And then Friday, which is today when I'm recording this video, Skylar had a cake sale at school, so she had to, have cupcakes and stuff. So all of that costed us $290. And then I also got ChatGPT, the one that is a paid one, because I needed to use it, which is $399. And I also paid for Canva, and that was $150. A little bit less than $150, but I'll just round it up. And that's, I guess, it for now when it comes to the calendar. So you can also add coming bills that you know are coming up. Like if you know on the 25th I have to pay for this, if you know on 26th I have to pay for this. And then it gives you a holistic overview of what's coming this week. Like for example, I know on the 25th I have Wi-Fi, and that is 400. Okay. So now I spoke about the 7 categories that I focus on, and the first category is income. So I know a lot of people don't really focus on income. Most people just focus on the expenses, but income comes first. So you need to know how much has come in, because if the numbers don't work, cutting out Netflix isn't actually going to solve the problem. Sometimes the real answer is realizing that I'm actually not making enough income and I need to change that. I did a Instagram post talking about like a simple framework on how to like structure your budget. Obviously, it's not a rule, it's just a framework that I have created. And if you feel like that framework is not working, so some people were like, out of that income of 20,000, 50% of that going to need, no, it's more like 70% in my life. That means you have an income issue. It means you're not earning enough. If your needs are over 50%, then you need to make a change in your income. You need to figure out how to increase your income. And I know right now it's like, oh no, I don't know what to do, but just really focus on that. And don't focus on what you don't have, but focus on how can I have more? What can I do to get more? Not I don't have. Like try and change your mindset more on what can I do to live a life that I enjoy rather than I am in lack, so my life sucks. So you know what I mean? Like you're just changing the focus just a little bit, and it's going to help. You're going to start asking the right questions, aligning yourself with the right people, watching the right videos, following the right people on social media. Everything is going to be aligned with answering that question in your head of what can I do to get more income? All right, let's get into the income. So I have 4 streams of income, and right now I've only received the three that I showed you over here, which was Monday, the 1st, the 8th, and the 15th. So I'm gonna leave it out up until I get my 4th income as well. Okay, and then I've got bills. Okay, these are my high priority bills. These are non-negotiables. So these are your things that you need to survive every single month, that your family needs to survive every single month. So like your rent, utilities, insurance, school fees, those kind of things. To me, those things get paid first in my budget, not last. So for me, these are my high priority bills. I've got giving, which is 1.5, sometimes more. Then I've got rent, which is 12,250. Then I've got utilities. They fluctuate, but I usually budget around 2,000 Rand. Then I've got Wi-Fi, which is 400. Then I've got life insurance, which is 970. Then I've got car insurance, which is 870. Then I've got funeral cover, which is 150. Okay, these are my high priority bills. That's category number 2. Category number 1 was income. Category number 2 is high priority bills. Okay, now let's move on to category number 3. Category number 3 is your wealth building category. This is for future you. It's called future self. This will take care of future you. Future you in the next 5 years, 10 years, or even longer, like retirement. So for me, I've got 3 main bills or expenses, I guess, under this category, which is my retirement. Then I've got my investment, which is for Scarlett's education, and then I've got a unit trust. I wasn't going to track this one because I started off by just putting in 500 when I can, or whatever I can, and then I started to realize I'm being consistent with the 500 Rand. This is the investment that I said for Scarlett. So that is my new one that I'm going to track and I'm going to show you. But I wasn't tracking it, but now I am. Now I am. Most people spend first and then save and invest whatever is left. But it's important for you to put this first and treat this category, future self, like it is a bill. So save first and then spend what is left afterwards. Because this will take care of you. And I will touch on more when I get into savings on how can it take care of you. So for retirement, I contribute 1.5, for investment 1,000, and then for unit trust 500. Alrighty, and then I've got my next category, which is my subscriptions. So my subscriptions category normally takes care of my business automations as well as my personal development, my personal growth. Because if I am growing, then my income usually grows as well. So I have to take care of those things. So my subscriptions are CapCut. There is also school, Canva, Apple Bill, so just the Apple account, the family account, YouTube, Netflix, Disney Plus, Gym, and lastly, ChatGPT. Okay, so these are my subscriptions. I'll just fill in the ones that I've paid. So ChatGPT was $399. I know that Netflix is 100 Rand and Disney is 159. Gym is 700, so that's both me and my husband, by the way, which is 350 each. So it's not bad, it's quite reasonable actually. YouTube is 110, Apple Bill is 230, Canva is 150, School is 380, and CapCut, just CapCut. I think I signed up for the standard one. Okay, so these are our subscriptions. Then we move on to our next category, which is the variable expense category, which is the fifth category. Okay, so the variable expenses category are expenses that can change month to month, that go up and down and fluctuate. So things like your food, your transport, eating out, miscellaneous, those kind of things. This category teaches you where your money is really going. This is how you can challenge yourself to actually spend less in the month. My variable expenses are your groceries, transport, eating out, buff, and some business expenses. So I'm going to put it down for you. Okay, so we've got groceries. So what I usually do is I buy my groceries weekly, and my budget is to spend 1,000 a week, so that my goal is to spend 4,000 a month. So I like going groceries W1, groceries W2, groceries W3, groceries W4. So week 1, 2, 3, and 4. I don't do the whole monthly grocery buying. It just doesn't work. Like food gets spoiled and it doesn't last. So we do weekly prepping. That means we do weekly shopping, and it works for us, and it helps us stay in our budget. We also have transport. I also used to put petrol weekly, but I no longer do that as I work from home, obviously. So sometimes I don't even use the car much. Eating out, buffer, and sometimes business stuff like career guy and whatever. So I'm just going to put business. Buffer and miscellaneous is quite the same thing. I think I'm going to also add Skylar. She is becoming a high spending person in there. So we really need to plan for her more because of how much we end up spending on her school and her activities and stuff. So groceries, we plan to spend 1,000 a week. Transport, we also plan to spend 1,000 in a month. Eating out, we also don't want to spend more than 500 Rand. Buffer, I'll put like 600 Rand. I usually have it in cash. Business expense, also like a 1.5. But since the budget for Freedom Planners are sold out, I probably won't be shipping out much unless it is saving challenges. And then Skylar, we're going to up her budget to 800 Rand. So this is hectic. And how much we have spent so far. So I can track groceries, and then everything else I'll have to update you end of the month. So for groceries, if I look at my calendar for food, we spent, I wrote it down on my iPad, which I'm looking at right now. For food, we spent 940, and for week 2, we spent 800. Okay, I've wrote that one down, and then 700. So we have spent 940, 800, and 700. That's how much we spent on grocery shopping. But there's still like some eating out. As you saw, we had that lunch and then coffees, and also Skylar has her own cake sales and things that she's spending money on. But that is my variable expenses for now. And then for the next category, which is the 6th category, is debt. So attacking your debt. Attacking debt is my main focus this year, which has been very hard for me. But yeah, I'm still on my debt-free journey. Who else is on their debt-free journey? Comment debt-free so that I know that I am not alone. Every single month, I pay money towards our debt because chasing freedom isn't just about making a lot of money. It's not just about making money. Chasing financial freedom is also about keeping more money. And the best way to keep your money, it's by getting rid of your liabilities. So that is debt. I have 2 personal loans that we are attacking, but I am focusing on one, which is what I'm going to share with you today. So that is, I'm going to call it personal loan. And currently we have 37,870 remaining on this personal loan. We started the year, so 2026, on 81,100. Yes. And if I go subtract 378.70, we have paid off 43,230. I'm going to write it here on the side just so I can remind myself, because I can get so hard on myself when it comes to this debt. And I don't realize how well we have done basically in the past 6 months. So currently we have 37,870 remaining on this debt. We haven't paid anything towards it this month, but the goal is to pay something by next week. So I'll keep you updated on that. I am hoping by the end of this month, we would have paid off 8,000. So if we go 37,870 minus by 8,000, it means we are going to have 29,870 as the balance that we're starting our month of July with, which would be so encouraging to know that we are now less than 30,000 Rand to go. So I'll keep you updated on that one. And then the last one is sinking funds. So sinking funds are your expenses. Sinking funds are your expenses that you know are coming and the ones that you don't know are coming, but you start saving month to month so that when it does come, it doesn't cost you too much. So example of sinking funds is emergency fund. This is an unexpected fund, like an unexpected event, So this fund will cover an unexpected event. Another one is Christmas. So this one is an expected event. I know that Christmas is coming in the next 6 months, so I need to start saving for it today so that it doesn't cost me in December. Another one is school. So whether it's school fees or back to school, like a uniform and things like that, it's an expected event. I know it's coming. Another one can be like birthdays. It can be your annual bills, like how I have that car disc. Or it can be maybe you're traveling somewhere, or maybe a wedding that you know is coming up in their family. Anything like that, you need to start saving prior so that it doesn't cost you too much on the actual date. So for now, I'm tracking emergency fund, Christmas, school, and a new camera. Maybe I might not end up getting a camera. Right now, I'm using my phone. Tell me how the quality is looking. I think it looks quite good, actually. So for emergency fund, I like saving mine on a time bank. So I'm just going to put like a T over there. For Christmas, I like saving mine with saving challenges. So I'm going to put like a C. For back to school, I'm also going to use a challenge. And for camera, I'm also using a challenge. Now it's up to you how you want to save these sinking funds. This is just what works for me. I'm using time bank on emergency because I'm hoping I won't need to use this emergency. So it's quite a long-term saving, hopefully. And then for these ones, I'm using saving challenges because they are short-term savings. They like 12 months savings. So I'm not really stressed about a little bit of interest that I'm going to get on like short-term savings. You know what I mean? So how much have we saved so far though? So when it comes to Christmas, I am using the collective. So that is the stock file. And we have saved 6,000 on that one. And to go is 6,000. And then for back to school, I have decided I'm going to use the 50,000 Rand saving challenge. So I'm going to calculate shortly how much I've saved on there. And then for camera, I am using the 20K saving challenge. So I'm just going to put this aside and I'm going to start with this one. And this is how much I have basically saved. All the stuff that I've ticked over here. So as you can see, so 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120. So if we had to add it together, so it's 10 plus 20 plus 30 plus 40 plus 50 plus 70 plus 80 plus 90 plus 100 plus 110 plus 120 plus, oh, not plus. So it was 780 minus that 1. So far we have saved 780. And if I go 50,500 minus 780, we have 49,720 to go. So still a long way to go. And then for the camera, we're using these ones, the 20k saving challenge. So this one is the first challenge where we saved a total of 3,900 rand. So I can actually just pick 200 and just put this over here. 200, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1,000. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2,000. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10. 3,000. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 3,600. 3,700. 3,800. 3,900. So 3,900. And what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. I'm going to swap these over here. So I'm going to put this one right here, and I need to get a 300. I've got a 300 in my bag. So I'm going to swap it with these ones over here and just take 1, 2, 3 and put it in here. So I'm going to put this back. Okay, and then saving challenge number 2 is this one. I can't wait to finish this one. It's taking slower than I was hoping for, but a lot has been happening, guys. But when I finish it, I'll have 9,000 rand. So far I should have, so if I add this, I should have plus 700 plus 600 plus 500 plus 400 plus 300 plus 200. So 3,800 as well, or 3,800. So let's see. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1,000. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2,000. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 3,000. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 3,800 rand. Right in there. Alrighty, so that is done here. Then what I'm going to do is, because this is a 150 saving challenge, I'm going to put these 50 rand here, but I'm going to take one out because I want to put it in the other 50k saving challenge. By the way, we still have stock of these, hey? I think we have pink ones, and I found 2 of these gray ones. So if you want gray, it should be available when this video goes live. I'll also have it linked below. So I'm going to keep these over here, and this over here, I've got some money in my wallet. Where's my wallet? Okay, so there it is. Also, these wallets are on sale, by the way, so these are still available. So I've got some money in here. I've got money from my allowance of 100 rand, and I've got money from the buffer. I don't know how much is this. So let's check. And I've also got this money that was in my bag. So I've got 300, 400, 500, and then we've got 600, 730. 730 is what's in here. I'm trying to think now, what must I do? Must I put it in here, or we need a purpose for all of this money? So if I could put this 130 on the side so that I can stuff it in here, then I'm left with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's see, these 50 rand, if I could get a 200, 6, 7, 8, okay, then I'll put this one over here so that I can take this money now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I could take this money and I could stuff it in here with this one here, this 800 Rand. So I'm going to do that. Okay, so I'm going to put this over here, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to record a short video for that. So basically what I have now over here is 38 plus 800, which is 4,600. So 4,600 plus this 3,900, which is 8,500. Okay, so that's the camera challenge. We have 8,500 saved, and if we minus 20,000, we have 11,500 to go, which means we're almost halfway, and it's literally mid-year, so we are almost there. And then it means that here on this pocket over here for 130, I can put this 130 over here, which I will again record that for Instagram as a short video. So that means that is going to be plus 130. So if we go 780 plus 130 is 910 that we would have saved in this binder. Whew, okay. So that is basically our savings. So for our savings, we've got 6,000 plus 910. Okay, so let me start again, sorry. So for our savings, we've got 6,000 plus 910 plus 8,500, which is 15,410. I'm going to check how much we have in an emergency fund, which I think is around 5,000. And then also the unit trust. It's more of, I don't know if it's going to be a long term, but I'm just going to keep it here for now. But I think we have around 5,000 in our emergency fund, which means we have saved around 20,410 by mid-June, which is technically middle of 2026, mid-year. And that is basically how I budget, I guess. So that is my budget so far for the month of June. I almost said May. For the month of June. And the truth is, building wealth is not always exciting. I know we want to get to the top. I always say, you want to get to the top of the staircase, but there's so many steps that you need to master first before you get there so that you don't end up getting back down. So right now I'm on a budget phase. I'm on the emergency fund phase. I'm on the paying off debt phase. And, you know, in this journey, it's so difficult. It feels like it's so hard to get out. I'm putting a little bit that I can into investing. I also have like my portfolio, but I really can't wait to go aggressive into that and building that wealth, because I know that it is so rewarding when you really put a lot of money into the compounding interest world, which is basically what I'm trying to do. I'm really working on, you know, a very bigger picture, but it means I need to just clean up some things here at the bottom first, making sure I've mastered my budget, making sure I have a good emergency fund, making sure that I have settled my debts, especially the high interest debt. So I'm also still trying to really grow my income and really get to the point where I am happy that it takes care of my bills, and majority of that goes into investing. But I'm sharing the journey with you. The truth, what you're seeing right now, it's just, I guess, what it is. Like what you see right now is the reality of managing your finances. Some months are really amazing. Some months are really frustrating and stressful. So it's just what it is. But consistency is what you need to have, because that will always beat perfection. And one thing I've learned about financial freedom, it's not about just making millions and millions and hoarding this money, but sometimes all you need is just that extra buffer for you to be able to breathe every single month. Sometimes you need just that extra 5 grand, just that extra 10,000 Rand, and that extra little money, you can put it to cover some groceries, you can put it to pay off school fees, you can put it to pay some debt, you can increase your savings and your investments, and you know, suddenly you feel like you can breathe again. You're not suffocating, you're not just surviving, you can actually give yourself the life that you deserve because you work so hard. So if you're watching this and you are feeling financially behind, I want you to remember this. You just need to understand that becoming financially free or rich or a millionaire or whatever your goal is not going to happen overnight. You just need to take little steps every single day and every single month to better your finances. Steps towards increasing your income, steps towards decreasing your liabilities, steps towards increasing your savings and increasing your investment, steps towards personally improving, building a brand, starting a digital business, taking those tiny little steps. I remember when I started my journey. I remember I said that in the FLA when we had our live yesterday, that I remember not knowing how to use Canva, and now I could just use Canva. But besides me doing so well in Canva, I have actually grown so much, where I'm more resilient, where I don't give up easily anymore. My character has really been built in that journey. The journey is the destination. It's not just about reaching that goal, it's also about who you become in the journey. So I just want you to focus on the little things. Paying a little bit of extra into your debt is going to help you. Paying a little bit extra into your rent ahead is going to help you to be 1 month ahead in your rent. Saving a little bit more, learning and reading books and studying the Word of God, and that's going to help you build your wisdom. Those small little changes and small little habits that you do every single day are going to be the thing that actually creates a completely different life for you, and you're not just on autopilot and just surviving. And that is exactly what I do, and it's what I teach in the Financial Literacy Academy. So if you want to be with other people who are in the same journey, who are trying to grow their wealth, who are trying to start a business, who are also trying to learn more about managing their finances, then you can join my coaching group. You've got ongoing support and other people who are in the same journey as you. But if you enjoy my free content, my YouTube videos, then please do subscribe if you haven't. Share it with a friend. It does really support me. And I hope to see you on the next video. Bye.